Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We're still out here doing some various things. I forget what the thing I said I was going to do at the end of last episode was, so we'll just keep on going here. Let's talk a little bit about political parties. Parties will tend to form based on a combination of the ideology of the people, of the party itself, and the leader of the various interest groups. So the default is basically for each interest group to form its own party, and for parties whose interests line up to form into a party together. So, for example, Lantmana, I'm probably absolutely eviscerating that pronunciation, but it is what it is. The Lantmana party is the default party of the landowners, and the Church of Sweden are aligning with them, I think because they've got an authoritarian in power, and that aligns with the broadly conservative attitude of the Lantmana party. The Farmers League, that's got to be the default for the rural folk. The old Lantmana party for the industrialists, the Patriotic Party for the armed forces, and the People's Party for the intelligentsia. I would have thought the intelligentsia would join the Patriotic Party on account of the intelligentsia are led by a jingoist, but apparently not. We have a new event for whom the bell tolls. The aged Anders Danielson, leader of the rural folk, has unexpectedly expired mid-campaign, robbing the Farmers League of a cornerstone politician. The question of his replacement is now on everyone's lips. Unexpected? Bah! The old bag of bones was long overdue to meet his maker. It's about time the party saw some new blood. So we can go with the popular but inept candidate, which gives the Farmers League a little bit of momentum. That's a mechanic that matters for elections. Or the determined but haughty youngster secures the chair. I am inclined to go with the determined but haughty youngster. Let's see who winds up in control of the rural folk. We have a Luddite. Oh, that's not great. Luddite is one of the new ideologies that was just added during the most recent update. It's the one that supports banning all industry in the country. So, I don't know about that, friends, but it is what it is. Our leader is... Oh, that's Rudolf Wernius, our agitator. Alexander Bernadotte. That's interesting. We do have some extra influence to play around with. Let's go ahead and improve relations with Sardinia-Piedmont. We've got a lot of people we're becoming good friends with, and that's just fine with me. That's generally something positive I want to keep working on. We're going to get a few more chemical plants in Zealand, and then we're going to get some glassworks. Hopefully the glassworks will increase our standard of living, because having a high standard of living is very important. Oh, excellent. We don't have any angry movements anymore. That's good. So now that our move to wealth voting is complete, we have these guys, the landowners. Their opposition to that is going to go down, and that's going to bring their opinion up. Church of Sweden also opposes the recent change. That's because they're authoritarians. They don't like any kind of distribution of power, especially when we moved from oligarchy, which is something they liked. But they will also get over it. They'll also continue to get over the movement from religious to public schools. We have a new event here. Police brutality. The use of extreme force is becoming increasingly common among police officers in Scandinavia. The working class and the socially conscious are rallying against the police as an institution. Scarcely a week passes without their committing some offense which disgusts everybody but the magistrates. Boys are bruised by their ferocity, women insulted by their ruffianism, and that which brutality has done perjury denies and magisterial stupidity suffers to go unpunished. Police brutality is becoming one of our most venerated institutions. So we get two options here. It might seem like this is not a good event, but it's a good event. If we say we can't tolerate this behavior, law enforcement investment level goes down, which is the thing we don't want. But we get an opinion bonus from the rural folk and intelligentsia. If we say the use of force is warranted, we get an opinion bonus with the armed forces and the petite bourgeoisie. Right now, I do want to keep the armed forces happy, so I'm going to do this one. And then we have this, a torrent of gin and beer. The People's Party's anti-alcohol policy is hurting their electoral prospects, and scores of thirsty voters flock to the La Menthe party, hoping that a change in government will see an end to the country's temperance policies. Resist temptation? I'll tell you what tempts me. Serving this boot here up your moralizing teetotalers you-know-wheres. I want a drink, I'll have a drink. And if you shan't let me, I'll go to choose that will. I'll go to those that will. Let me see. No beer, no vote. That gives the La Menthe party a bunch of momentum. I certainly don't want that. Run a smear campaign against these immoral bacchanalians. Now, let's do that. I don't know why we have an anti-alcohol policy. We've got a consumption tax on liquor, but that's a consumption tax. That's a good thing. All right, let's take a look at this momentum. We're doing overall pretty well. The La Menthe party has gotten a little bit of momentum, but not too much. And I'm hoping we'll be able to keep everything. All right. Rural values. The Farmers' League, spearheaded by the organizing efforts of Rudolf Arrhenius, has begun a popular campaign focused on the desired preservation of rural values in an age of rapid and frightening change. You may say that it is new and better, that it gives us more to buy or enrich our children, but what matters is that it is strange and different. It puts us out of work, and we did not ask for it. Stand by your community, vote for the Farmers' League, or we must build a broader coalition against these alien tendencies. Well, I don't want to reduce the strength of the Patriotic Party, because this is the screen I want. Because the Patriotic Party is pulling, I think, a certain amount of votes from the La Menthe party. The Farmers' League and the People's Party could sit together. Let's do that. Let's hope they're able to work together. So that increases them, it reduces everyone else. I think that's going to be good. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So once the election gets done, we'll revisit our government, because currently our government is unacceptable. Our heir's political party is the landowners again, so hopefully Oscar Bernadotte is 50. Hopefully we'll be able to get to having a presidential republic before we wind up with his son on the throne. Alright, so the results are in. Most of the votes went to the Farmers' League, which we expected, and the People's Party. That's very good. So, let's see what our options are. If we put the... So, here's the thing about this. With wealth voting, whoever's got the money gets the votes. So, the La Menthe party gets a certain number of the votes, but not that many. The old La Menthe party gets a bunch because the industrialists are super duper wealthy. But the rural folk got a bunch because they've got a lot of supporters. So really we can go with either way. With that having been said, I don't want a Luddite in power. So I'm going to bring the industrialists into the government. That's going to make our government contested, which isn't so bad. Yeah, and then we'll be as legitimate as we can be. Let's go ahead and get this unpaused. And that's fixed up our government situation significantly. We're not as legitimate as we were before, but we're in the middle, and we can get done what we need to get done. So let's see. I don't want to do that, because I don't want to have another civil war with the Church of Sweden so soon. But separating church and state would be really, really good. That would radicalize the Church of Sweden, but honestly, I think we can kind of take it. What else? Can't do that yet. Colonization don't want to do any of that. Social security, I don't want poor laws. No migration controls. That would anger the rural folk, though, and I don't want that. It might be... So freedom of conscience, though, does give us some authority and gives us increased standard of living for accepted religions. So while it does make the Church of Sweden stronger, I think we can live with that for now. Can't do this. Both of those factions are going to be mad about it, and the armed forces are going to be mad about it. Because the armed forces are currently commanded by a royalist. So I think our next step is going to be either census suffrage or universal suffrage. But for now, I think we're going to cool it on changing the laws, because we just have to... Axel Morner has passed. Should get us a new general. Not Germany HQ. Yeah, we can get this guy. This is fine. And there's the Metropolitan Police event. So, the dedicated police force has solved a series of high-profile murders in Stockholm, thanks to our investment in their institution. Public confidence in the police is at an all-time high. Stockholm by gaslight can be a treacherous place. The papers would have you believe that danger lurks around every corner. But all of that is set to change. With a peeler patrolman on every street, our citizens will be able to stride confidently in the knowledge that they are protected from the criminal element. So, Stockholm's finest are on the case. We can get reduced radicals from standard of living decreases. I don't like that as much as I like 33% of servicemen pops in Sweden become more loyalist. Bam. So we're at 62.9k loyalists. Bam. And that's going to increase loyalism to 78.6k. And that's really important, because that's also going to make the armed forces very, very happy. Because it'll increase the amount of their political strength that's loyal. And that's really important. Check up on our... We're still short on silk. I don't know why this is still happening. Let's bring some in from the British market. Alright, we're good on that. We're working on those glassworks. So, has unemployment gone down? Yes, it has gone down significantly. Turmoil is still up there. That's a shame. That's a real shame. With that having been said, we have our finances are doing a lot better. I think after this current round of building, it might be time to increase our overall investment in construction. We've got a lot more explosives out now. Where's explosives? Here. But our chemical plants are still profitable, so that's good. I think I'm going to get our... Oh, that's right. We're getting all of our sulfur from abroad. That's fine. How is the meat market? Oh, we can definitely export some meat. We're producing a ton of meat. Nobody wants meat. Hold up. Are we doing something silly with meat? No, we got our basic tariff policy on there. I like to encourage exports because we got so much of the stuff. We'll keep that way for now. Oh, right. Home affairs. Living to guaranteed liberties. So the only people this would radicalize are the Church of Sweden. And I'm inclined to do this right now. The armed forces would be a little salty about it, but they'd still be very happy. I'm inclined to take a run at this. On the other hand, the opinion of the Church of Sweden is going to go up by 13 over time. Excuse me, in addition to the minority language acceptance thing opinion malice falling off. And that'll be in 13 months. So I should still wait. Well, this is causing a lot of radicalization. You, sir, you've got to go. I'm sorry. I can't have all this radicalization. So we gained a few extra radicals in the short term, but overall the numbers should go down. All right. Sorry, I need to get off of this whole trade thing. Deal with that. All right. So we're still working on pharmaceuticals, and after that we've got labor movement spreading. I think maybe we'll knock that out before realism. And then we'll see where we are. Again, our goal is pan-nationalism. 8 years. Oh, that's so long. Let me see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 techs that are in our way with that. We're still not really maxed out on innovation, though. So I think one thing we're going to put a lot of effort into, once we got these glassworks done, is finishing out these universities. We can get more lead out of these lead mines, and I think we're going to go ahead and do that. We can sell it abroad, and that'll be just fine. Yeah, Prussia likes lead. A lot of guns in Prussia. That's very good. 7 weeks till pharmaceuticals. We might actually be able to get some good stuff once we got pharmaceuticals. We could go to a private health insurance system, which wouldn't be terrible. There's no support for a public one, but there is support for a private one. And nobody would be mad about that. I think that's what we'll do with our laws while we're waiting for the rest of the country to just calm down a little bit. In the meanwhile, we've finished improving relations with the Grand Duchy of Finland. So let's go on to other nearby countries. Let's see. Let's do the Papal States. 2 Sicilies we're already improving relations with, right? Or no, we're at maximum for that. Maximum from improving relations, that is. So hopefully that should be fine. Again, I'm just trying to get a lot of industry built up in New Zealand so that we can get some of these people who are unemployed employed. Because that's really causing a lot of strife here. This turmoil is already going down as unemployment decreases. And if we can get this number down to just about 0, that'll be great. Crystal glass. So that unlocks a method that lets us produce more glass through... Oh no, it's just more lead. Yeah, heck yeah, let's do that. We're gonna have glass for everyone. There it is. Alright, so now that we've got that, we can go ahead and work on having a health system. And because no one opposes this, we should be able to get through this relatively quickly, in a relatively small number of checks. The stall is the result that we want to try to avoid, but we're mostly going to have advance and success results, because again, nobody opposes going from not having a healthcare system to having a healthcare system. It is going to cost us some bureaucracy, but that's really okay. Let's see, paper's still quite expensive. So one thing I am going to do... Okay, we got the private sector producing more paper mills. No, I'm producing paper mills myself. Alright, so what we're going to do... I'm going to bring these furniture manufactories down here. I do still want to produce those, but before I do that, I want to get my universities producing again. And I think, actually, we're going to take this one from Jutland and queue it up to be the first one. And after that, we'll produce some more paper mills. I know focusing all my construction in Jutland has been very inefficient, but I'm really trying to get unemployment down there because I think that's being a major stumbling block to things going well. Our number of radicals is still kind of problematic. How's our population? Population is increasing at a relatively stable rate. So, I just want to talk a little bit about healthcare. Currently, we're going to be... So, this is, again, one of those reduces mortality. That's the thing it does. And it's on a per-level basis. So, private health insurance is going to reduce mortality by 0.3% per level per wealth, as opposed to public health insurance, which is going to reduce it just by a flat 5% per level. That means that private health insurance is actually more effective than public health insurance if everyone in your country has more than 15, I think that's the math, 15, 0.3, 5 divided by 0.3. I think it works out to about 15. Is that right? Hold on. I mean, nope. Great Britain wants me in their customs union. No, thank you. Hang on, I'm just going to quickly do that math. I think that's what the numbers work out to. It's 16.7. So, right now, private healthcare is worse for the lower strata and better for the upper strata than public healthcare. But over time, as our standard of living goes up, and I really do intend to get the standard of living going up, it's going to be a lot better for everyone. And that's what's really important. Gosh, we keep having... We need more coal mines. I don't know why coal is so difficult. Oh. Oh, the United States is trying to take over Texas. That's fun. Progress to drafting. That's very good. That's stage 1 of 3 knocked out. Hydraulic cranes, which is going to increase port level. The crane technologies are what they are. We're going to get our new technology spreading to us in a moment. Power of the purse. All right. So far in military, we've had a lot of the naval technology spreading to us. That's not bad, but it's not great. This stuff is what I would really prefer. But again, I'm not going to do too much fighting, so I'm not hugely concerning myself over that. Now that we've got glass in our market, glass is very affordable, but if we use these patent stills, that will let us get a lot more liquor, and liquor sells pretty good. Oh, actually, we're not using that much liquor hardly at all. We can probably export some of that. Oh, come on, you can do it. Okay, something's getting very silly here. Alright, we're back. Apologies about that. I was trying to export some liquor. Where's liquor? Here it is. So, I'm producing a lot of liquor now. I can get a good market in Prussia. Prussia and I have a lot of trade. That's very good. We're continuing to build this. Okay, now that we've got this new glassworks, yes, employment has gone down even further, and that's driven turmoil down even further. I think 25 is the point below which it doesn't, below which you can not worry about turmoil. So that's my goal. My goal is to get us below 25%. And then everything's chill. So we've got a healthy surplus now, financially. That's going to go up when we get these paper mills output. But it's going to go down again a little later, because I'm going to get another set of government administrations. And I think the place they're going to go is Jutland. It's going to have a little bit of government administration everywhere, wouldn't you say? Some people would not agree with this sentiment. Let's see. Coal is still very expensive. I sure would like the private sector to build up our coal infrastructure, because it feels like it's a natural fit, but that still doesn't appear to be happening. That having been said, I'm not too worried about it. One of the bylines of a previous Let's Play of mine was, you don't necessarily need to be concerned about that. And I think that's going to be very much a tagline of this Let's Play as well. Oh boy, labor movement. Excellent. Let's get to work on deals next. And what do we have spring to us? Organized sports. That's good. Health taxes. With the calls for some form of healthcare system, many are questioning whether the money for setting up the new healthcare system will come from. Some are suggesting simply taking it out of our tax funds, while others insist the government should find a way to cover the costs. Let me get this straight. You expect us to not only pay for our own healthcare, but someone else's as well? I don't want the money I pay in taxes to be used so some random farmers to be able to get healthcare. That's not my responsibility. I have my own health and family to think of. I can't possibly afford to look after everyone else in Sweden as well. We can take it from the tax funds. That costs us some money, but gives us a lot of enactment chance. It irritates the industrialists who are in the government and loyal. The government should cover the cost. This costs us a bunch of money, but increases it. Or we can get by without it, which is 10% chances. I'm going to go with 10% success enactment chance success. I'm really not too concerned about this. I think this is one of those things where all we need to do is be chill about it and not go crazy, and everything will be fine. Again, almost all of our chances are positive, so I'm not too concerned about keeping success chance high. We finished another one of our relation improvements. So let's go ahead and continue to do that. Papal states and Sardinia Imperial. Alright, so we've gotten the Italian states pretty much sorted. Let's work on Bavaria. Bavaria is nearby. Here's the university in Zealand finished pretty soon. And after that, paper mills in Norland. I think... Let me see. Private sector still is not building more coal mines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue them all up. And we'll have that be in our long-term plan. Actually, no. I'm going to leave them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... If I really increase the demand, that should motivate the private sector to do something about this stuff. But on the other hand, it'll also cause a coal shortage, and that I don't want. I'll wait about it. I've got plenty of time to worry about that. So, let me just look at stuff. I'm bringing in a bunch of guns from Prussia. I don't need that. I don't need those guns. I'm bringing in a bunch of coal from Prussia. That's part of what's going on. I'm bringing in a very tiny amount of paper from Bremen. I think I can live without that. I'm bringing in some ammunition from the UK. That's not profitable. I'm bringing in a small number of engines from the UK. Let's look at our engines situation. Engines is hard to keep going. Oh, we're perfectly fine on engines. We can live without that for sure. I'm just trying to cut trade routes to make sure that I've got some bureaucracy available. I've got a meat export trade route that's actually not productive at all. So I can get rid of that. And then everything else, I think it's still basically good. We're doing a ton of trade with Prussia. We have a trade agreement, you and I. Yes, we do. We sure do. Alright, well that's fine. Let's see, we're still building up these paper mills. With that having been said, we've had a pretty productive session. Let's get to this event, and then we'll call it a day. Farmers in Zealand have made appeals to the government about the dangers of the equipment they're using and would like to have some sort of health care to reduce the hardships for them. Neighbor came over to my house the other day. As he stood there at my door, grabbing his right hand with his left, I realized he'd cut 3 of his fingers clean off. I was no doctor, but he needed help, and I did the best I could. Just wish there was someone he could have gone to that knew better. Trying to offer help, this gives us 10% enactment chance. Focus on establishing healthcare, this gives us a bunch of mortality, but a much higher enactment chance. This isn't for the poor anyways. Oh no. Oh, that's a bunch of mortality. We'll try and offer help. Let's get ourselves some extra enactment chance and not worry about other stuff. Anyway, yeah, we're working to get healthcare. That's going to be a good time. Next time, we'll work on other stuff. We'll continue with our industrialization plan. I would love to get to the point where I can increase my investment in construction, because this is not going fast enough for me. But we'll see. We'll see about that. Anyways, I've had fun. I hope you've had fun. I'll see you all on the other side.